It's been a long journey, Elder Huayan. Thank you for your presence.
Don't mention it. Thank you for taking the time to welcome me.
General, I brought our guests from the Express. Oh, I'm sorry for my bad timing. I didn't know you were meeting a guest, General.
Don't worry, you're just in time. It's been a while, my friends from the Astral Express. All is well when you have friends coming from afar. Allow me to introduce you to General Huayan. He's the Arbiter General of the Xianzhou Zhuming, known as the Flaming Heart.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a tourist here, no different from other tourists who've come to attend the ceremony.
Elder Huayan is not only one of the Arbiter Generals, but also the Furnace Master of the Artisanship Commission. Besides his martial skills, he excels in forging various weapons. Such talents are unique, even among the Arbiter Generals.
Be it Arbiter General or Furnace Master, these are merely titles given to me long ago. I've retired several. With the current change in circumstances, the Marshal has called me back to duty, and I had no choice but to answer the call. Well, in the end, I'm to blame. Living such a long life naturally brings its share of disapproval.
It's an honor to meet you, General Huayan.
It's my honor to meet you, General Huayan.
No need to be all formal. Today I'm just a guest on the Luofu. The same. So, these three are the ones you mentioned, Jingyuin? The heroes who helped you with the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Indeed. There's Dan Heng, March 7th, and him. Without their help, I'm afraid the Luofu might not have easily overcome this crisis.
So, the Imbibitor Lune's reincarnation has returned to the Luofu and will attend the war dance. I'd love to have a drink with you should the chance present itself.
You're more than welcome, General Huayan.
And this young friend is?
Yanqing, my apprentice. He remains by my side as my retainer due to his youth, which I hope will season him with experience. He will stand for the Luofu's Cloud Knights in the upcoming war dance, ready to take on all kinds of challenges.
Great, great! It's a real treat to see so many talented young people around here today. Oh, I almost forgot. This is my apprentice, Yun Li.
It's you!
Oh, it's you. Hello.
Oh, you two already know each other? Guess we don't need any introductions, then.
What a coincidence! I was afraid I'd have trouble finding this girl.
Oh? Now you've piqued my curiosity. Tell me, how did you two become acquainted?
She helped me capture the escaped Borisin prisoners at the Starskiff Haven. Allow me to express my gratitude for you. But when you left, you took my flying sword with you.
Your flying sword? Oh, so that's why I found a dagger in my bag. Turns out it's yours.
Yes, it is. Now that we've met again, I hope...
Nope, that won't do.
Won't do?
You want your sword back, right? Well, you can't just take it back. On the Zhuming, when you lose your sword on the battlefield, you have to reclaim it on the battlefield. As for this little sword, It was supposed to strike that escaped Borisin prisoner. But unfortunately, its owner's agitated state caused it to fly off like a kite with a broken string, and it missed its target. By the way, if I hadn't caught it and helped it hit its mark, that Borisin prisoner would have gotten away.
Hold on a sec, Yun Li. You took my sword without even asking, and now you're refusing to give it back?
So much for Luofu's swordmasters.
What did you just say?
If you just stepped up and took your sword back from me fair and square, I would have totally respected you. But nope, you tried to play it down, expecting me to just hand it back to you like it's nothing. In front of everyone. With all due respect, you don't honor your sword, so you don't deserve it.
Hasn't anyone told you that taking without asking is stealing? If you want to settle this with swords, fine. Let's have a one-on-one duel right now.
Yanqing.
Well, that's more like it. Just be careful, because I'm not as easy to handle as the Borisin.
You two, be quiet and apologize to Yanqing.
Hey! Whose side are you on, Grandpa?
I don't take sides.
It's a small misunderstanding, and an apology would be too much. I've heard about the Zhu Ming's incredible swordplay and craftsmanship. Most notably, the legendary Flame Wheel Octet. Seeing Miss Yun Li, who is among those ranks today, well, I must say, she definitely has that fiery edge.
Such grandiose names. Some folks love to spin these fancy titles, trying to set the Cloud Knights apart. Yun Li is still just a young girl, a bit awkward and hot-tempered. So please forgive her if she's being rude.
Well, everyone, Elder Huaiyan and I have some business to discuss. For now, Yanqing, why don't you entertain our guests and take Miss Yun Li to the inn? I'll find another chance to talk with you all. I'd like to express my gratitude to the Astral Express for helping the Luofu during the crisis.
That's so kind of you. I mean, you've already thanked us so many times.
Please forgive me for coming at an inconvenient time.
You needn't apologize, General Huaiyan.
All right, Yun Li. Take this opportunity to clear things up with Yanqing.
Yeah. It's better to make friends than enemies. But I won't be heading to the inn just yet. I want to visit Lingsha. She just arrived in the Luofu and could use some help settling in.
Yanqing, once you've helped our guests get settled, go to the Artisanship Commission for me. I've heard about the attack and the detainment of the IPC ship. Qingzu sent word that the IPC members are protesting and wish to have their cargo back. See if you can calm them down. Don't get aggressive. Just make it clear that the Xianzhou Luofu has no intention of violating their rights.
I'm on it.
Hey, Don Hung. I thought all the Xianzhou generals were like Jing Yuan. But that General Huaiyan, he looks so thin and scraggy, as if even a light breeze would knock him over. Is that old man really an Arbiter, General?
Well, each Xianzhou ship has its own division and specialty within the Alliance. Not all of the Arbiter Generals are good at leading the charge. You heard what Jing Yuan said, right? General Hua Yan was once the head of all the skilled craftsmen on the Zhu Ming.
Don't you find it strange? Do Xianzhou people age? I rarely see any old people on the Xianzhou ship. And when I do, they're usually travelers. But General Hua Yan looks like an ordinary old grandpa. Is he really a Xianzhou general?
Good question. He's right there. So why don't you ask him yourself?
Nah, I'd like to live a little longer.
We should leave. General Jing Yuan asked Yan Qing to entertain us, so obviously, he has important matters to discuss. Let's not waste any time here.
This is the report Qing Zhu just sent me. Let me take a look. Looks like the General has given me a tough challenge. He wants me to try and help put the IPC's mind at ease. Well, it's not exactly a test. As Cloud Knight officers, we not only learn the art of war and martial arts, but also occasionally have to handle diplomatic disputes. It's just, you know, talking things out isn't as straightforward as duking it out with weapons on the battlefield. This is especially true when you're up against the IPC, with their non-stop corporate babble. Well, let's not worry about that for now. Shall I take you to the inn?
It is the Luofu's honor to have you in attendance at the war dance. Yet, the fact that a simple martial arts ceremony has attracted esteemed generals from the Zhu Ming and the Yao Qing implies intentions beyond mere spectacle.
You're overthinking it, Jing Yuan. As I said, I'm here to broaden my granddaughter's horizons. I have no Voltir. However, I have no clue what the Yao Qing Arbiter General has in mind. Do you remember when you accepted this position? I told you that an Arbiter General's battlefield goes beyond the physical one. You'll need to lead and manage everything on the Xianzhou. The title of Arbiter General holds a weight far greater than its literal meaning. So many years have passed, and you've done well. However, longevity for the Xianzhou people can be a curse. Living too long means that every mistake you made will lurk in the shadows. And one day, they'll eventually catch up to you. The Marshal knows everything that has happened on the Luofu. As for the Merlin's Claw of the Yao Qing, she has come specifically for you. Speaking of which, why hasn't she arrived yet?
That's not true, General Hua Yan. She's been here a while, but I'm sure you've heard of her unbridled nature.
As soon as she disembarked from the star skiff, she mentioned having something to attend to, and simply disappeared.
You must be the messengers from the Xianzhou Yao Qing, I assume.
We are Jiao Cho and Moza, retainers of the Merlin's Claw. It's an honor to meet you in person, Arbiter Generals.
Now this is interesting. A guest who doesn't come to visit but sends a message instead. What does she mean? Tell me, what could be more important to her than coming here?
Master heard about a spectacular view in Scale Gorge Waterscape. I believe she went there to enjoy it.
A spectacular view? Ha! Did you hear that, Jing Yuan? This person is being sarcastic.
Please do not misunderstand me, General Huaiyan. I was simply stating the truth. Master thought it would be inappropriate to keep you waiting, so she sent us here. Once she's finished with admiring the scenery, she'll personally come and apologize to the both of you.
Drat, I forgot to ask Yun Li to return my sword. Unacceptable. Every sword is precious to me. If it weren't for the General's interference, I would have taught that shameless girl a lesson in swordplay. By the way, I don't know if it's just me, but the General seemed a little... reserved? Could it be because of Elder Huaiyan's visit?
Reserved? Really?
Maybe I'm just overthinking things.
No, you're not. When I entered the Palace of Astrum, I realized that the messenger from the Xianzhou Zhu Ming was actually the Arbiter General himself. So, the messenger from the Xianzhou Yao Qing must be the Merlin's Claw herself, I presume.
That's right.
Well, that's what makes this entire thing so unusual.
What's so unusual about it? They simply received an invitation from Jing Yuan, just like the crew, right?
The war dance is just a small festival. And now we have 2 Arbiter Generals from other Xianzhou ships here. I'm afraid they're here for something more. Maybe they've come to hold Jing Yuan accountable for the...
Hold him accountable? Come on, didn't the Luofu fall victim to the disciples of Sanctus Medicus and the Antimatter Legion? Why would they blame the victim?
Dan Shu's rebellion and Ventilia's scheming are merely one side of the story to the other Arbiter Generals of the Alliance. Only a single piece of incontrovertible evidence remains, creating an endless source of potential complications.
The Ambrosial Arbor.
Yes. It's undeniable that the plague mark, which was subdued by the Xianzhou Luofu, has resurfaced once the spark of suspicion is kindled. The General must have had that in mind when he invited us to attend the war dance.
What was I thinking? Seriously. Here I was looking forward to a carefree and enjoyable trip. But it seems wherever we go, drama is just around the corner.
Aw, I was so excited. I thought those Arbiter Generals were just here to see the ceremony. By the way, I heard that an alchemist from the Zhu Ming diplomatic ship has arrived. And rumors say that she's to be the new Cauldron Master of the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu.
An alchemist from the Zhu Ming serving as the Cauldron Master on the Luofu? While it's not unheard of, the timing itself...
Thanks to your words, Mr. Dan Heng. Now I finally see the underlying tensions. The General is under tremendous pressure right now, but I was completely oblivious to his troubles. How naive of me.
Come on, don't think like that. Leave the adult matters to the adults. Even if you wanted to do something for the General, it's not like you can do anything. Did I say something wrong? Again?
Miss March is right. I don't have the skills to share the General's burdens at the moment. Still, I'll do my best to follow his instructions. Let's go. Once I've taken you to your accommodations, I need to go to the Artisanship Commission to handle the IPC's protest.
He looks like he has a lot on his mind. We can't just let him go alone. Why don't we accompany you to the Artisanship Commission?
This is too much trouble. While I appreciate your kindness, dealing with the IPC's workers could be tricky. I'm afraid this will cause trouble for the Express.
No worries. We're pretty experienced in dealing with the IPC. You've heard of the 10 Stone Hearts? We've dealt with quite a few of them, right? Hey, who's bragging? Anyway, this time it'll just be a few ordinary IPC workers. Surely you don't think they'll be even trickier than Aventurine, do you?
Well, since you're willing to help, I won't decline your kindness. Let's head to the Artisanship Commission and meet them.
Can I really reason with you Xianzhou people? I think I get it now. In your words, this is called looting a burning house, right?
But I am trying to reason with you here.
Ha! Ta! Ugh, that toxic voice sounds familiar. Haven't I heard it before in Arum Alley?
You know what? This isn't my first time dealing with the Skyfaring Commission. I can handle your unreasonable ways.
Scott.
But straight up snatching IPC cargo.
Just as I've said many times already. Once we've inspected the cargo and completed the security check, you can be on your way.
I'm hearing you loud and clear. I'll keep detaining my cargo at home. Don't think you can possibly convince me. Huh? Why are you here? Staying on the schedule, are you? What terrible luck. Wherever you go, disasters are far behind.
Aren't you the guest from the Astral Express? What brings you and Yanqing to the Artisanship Commission?
They're in trouble? No, it's me. I'm the one in trouble.
Looks like you've met this IPC worker before. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. I was sent here to deal with the IPC protest in Xinhui. What's going on here?
As you know, this IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin and rescued by the Juming's diplomatic ship. Then the Cloud Knights were instructed to bring it back to the dock for repairs and inspections. And this is Mr. Scott, the person in charge of this transport ship.
So, you're Scott. I've heard him mention you. Weren't you kicked off the Lafu before? Why did you come back?
Like I wanted to come back. I thought I'd just dock at the harbor for repairs and leave this forsaken place for good. Little did I know, as soon as the ship entered the harbor, a bunch of Cloud Knights showed up and snatched all our cargo from the hold.
What do you mean by snatched? I've told you a million times. It's a security check.
Then why did you bring the cargo to the Artisanship Commission? You even brought in some shady craftsmen. It's obvious you're trying to steal the IPC's patented technology.
Listen here. Firstly, the Skyfaring Commission detected dangerous items that could possibly be weapons in your cargo. That's why they called me here, to double-check. Secondly, where the heck did you get the idea that I'm a shady craftsman?
Even if there are dangerous items, what do they have to do with you? It's not even being shipped to the Lafu. We'll just fix the ship and get on our way. We won't unload our cargo here.
But you'll have to stay in the port for several days before your ship is repaired and you can take off again. How can we just leave unchecked items sitting here?
I understand, but we don't need to disassemble the cargo if it's just a security check, right?
In most cases, we don't. However, our scans discovered that the cargo doesn't only contain machinery, but also some substance that resembles biological tissue.
Biological tissue? Does this crate contain living things?
I'm afraid we'll need to wait for the Alchemy Commission for further confirmation. In any case, according to our regulations, we need to unseal one of the crates for further examination. But this IPC specialist has been hindering us on the grounds of patent secrecy.
The Alliance's regulations on biological products are very strict. Without further inspection, there's no...
Oh, really? Fine! If anyone lays a finger on that shipment, they'll have me to deal with. It doesn't matter if it's mechanical or biological. It's none of your business. I'm filing a complaint against the Skyfaring Commission's ridiculous regulations.
This Mr. Scott seems stubborn and difficult to persuade. Honestly, I really don't want to have a vicious confrontation with the IPC. I heard how you helped Aramali. The IPC representative back then was Mr. Scott, right? Since you've dealt with him before, it looks like I'll have to rely on you again.
What are you guys whispering about over there? Just hurry up and give us back our cargo.
Nice.
As I recall, this guy won't listen to reason and only be persuaded with intimidation. But he does seem to follow rules to some extent. Let's use that against him.
Speaking of regulations, we have our own laws and regulations too. According to Article 4 of the Cienjo Alliance IPC Trade Consensus, the Alliance and IPC shall never infringe on each other's intellectual property rights.
The Alliance can sign a non-disclosure agreement with you. That way, you won't have to worry about any infringements, right?
We can sign a mutually acceptable non-disclosure agreement.
Well, that makes sense, but how can we trust you to honor the terms? Even if we set aside the secrecy of intellectual property, these prototypes built by the Intelligentsia Guild are incredibly valuable, beyond your wildest imagination. If anything...
Your logic is too confusing for anyone to follow. Maybe you should learn the art of communication from a monkey before you continue spouting nonsense. Don't underestimate Cienjo technology. Even if they need to dismantle your cargo, the Artisanship Commission can easily put it back together.
Yeah, go ahead and brag about their skills. After all, you're just a negotiator. But I'm different. I'm an IPC. And besides, cargo on this transport vessel belongs to the Intelligentsia. If you want to inspect the cargo...
Could you repeat that? I didn't quite hear you. Can you give us an example, Mr. Scott? If there's any damage after the inspection, the the Skyfaring Commission will compensate you.
The Skyfaring Commission... Yeah, they will compensate you.
I don't doubt the financial strength of the Skyfaring Commission. However, this is besides. Cargo on this transport vessel belongs to the Intelligentsia Guild. If you want to inspect the cargo, shouldn't you at least call in a member of the Intelligentsia Guild to be present?
According to the principle of territoriality, since your vessel is stranded in the Xianzhou, the Skyfaring Commission has the right to inspect it.
Indeed. According to Article 27 of the Xianzhou Legal Code, all official and private goods upon entering the port shall be subject to inspection. Failure to submit to such inspection shall be deemed equivalent to the possession of unlawful items and shall be subject to legal ramifications.
Huh? My synesthesia beacon must not be working, because I have no idea what you just said.
Simply put, if you insist on hindering the inspection, we'll have to treat the cargo as unlawful items and confiscate it.
Confiscate it? How can you Xianzhou people be so unreasonable?
If this were pure point, and incoming cargo posed a safety risk, the IPC would take it in for containment and disposal, correct?
That's true. The IPC sometimes makes exceptions. For example, they've always given special terms to Xianzhou vessels. We both need to follow the regulations, because that's how the IPC and the Xianzhou operate, right? As an IPC worker, I have to abide by its regulations. If I make an exception and allow you to inspect the cargo, it'll spell disaster for me.
Everyone has their own services. Now that you're on their turf, shouldn't you follow their rules too?
Yeah, I get it. I know I'm on the Xianzhou, but if I violate the IPC regulations, I'll be in deep trouble when I get back. Well, you guys should know how to argue your case. Fine, I'll allow you to do the security inspection. It's just that I need some time to sort things out. This is a big deal. Let me talk to headquarters first.
So, Mr. Scott, are you just stalling for time and planning to leave the Xianzhou as soon as your ship is repaired to avoid the Skyfaring Commission's inspection?
Well, IPC staff are free to come and go, as long as they don't break any laws.
Yeah, got some insight. Who are you again?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linsha, Cauldron Master and head of the Alchemy Commission on the law.
Could she be?
Yeah, she's the new Cauldron Master assigned here from the Xianzhou Juming.
I received a report from the Artisanship Commission about cargo containing samples of unknown organisms. It said they needed help from the Alchemy Commission. I had nothing better to do, so I came myself. It's fine, Mr. Scott. If you really don't want your cargo to be inspected, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? How can you say that?
Why are you being so nice all of a sudden? Well, since you're not going to check it, I'll take this crate and be on my way. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, sure. Why should I object? Not only this sample, but all the goods on the transport ship are yours to keep. Like I said, we won't inspect them.
Wait a minute!
Well, that's more like it. If only the young displayed more reasonable attitude, we could have sidestepped that altercation just now. Our ship will leave in a few days once the engines are repaired.
Your ship can leave whenever you want, but I'm afraid I can't say the same for your cargo. According to the import and export regulations signed between the Xianzhou and IPC, all biological shipments can only leave the port when they have confirmed to be of no threat, or when all biological activity expires. Since we can't determine if your shipment is safe for the environment, I guess we'll have to wait for its biological activity to expire. Let me check the previous cases. Normally, it'll only take around 47 star calendar years.
Only 47 years?
Why so surprised? You're still young and full of energy. I'm pretty sure you'll live a few more decades. Have some confidence in yourself.
Typical of a long-life species, your words are dripping with sarcasm. While you may not care about time, I do. I'll be demanding double compensation from the Skyfaring Commission for every minute wasted.
Sure thing, Mr. Scott. You seem pretty confident that your career and life will last long enough to witness this victory unfold.
Step aside, guys. Let them do the inspection.
Mr. Scott!
Come on, we're already in enough trouble. Just let them do the security inspection. And if needed, I can always grovel before the Intelligentsia Guild. I'm just using my head for what it's apparently good for, right? Well, honestly, at least you're not as annoying as that woman.
But you're so as annoying as ever.
This lady is really something else. Is this the IPC product?
Listen up. Any damages caused by inspections will be filed with the IPC.
Turn it off. Oh, how unexpected. That was a surprise. Oh. Existence is unity.
Let's improvise.
Do you admit this crime?
Step up, let's see ya. Nice, like a good friend. Indulge yourself!
Every petal will be swept away by the wind.
Dreams do come true.
You could have surrendered.
Let's improvise. The mood is set. Let the show begin.
Order of execute the Marastruck!
Were you seriously planning to leave this stuff unchecked at the dock for days? That's way too dangerous.
I had no idea about it. You must have accidentally triggered the cargo's defense program.
I don't think trying to shift the blame is a wise choice.
But seriously, I don't know why that thing suddenly started moving. I swear I'm the Emperor Lord.
Enough. Miss Shikwe, please escort our IPC guest to the Skyfaring Commission.
I'm on it. Please follow me, Mr. Scott.
Gentlemen, our preliminary inspection shows that there is indeed hidden biological tissues inside. Just like the craftsman feared. I can't even tell if it's ingenium or biological in nature.
The core of this device is what they call wetware in industry slang. To put it simply, this machine operates with a kind of biological nerve as its control center.
I'll take some samples for the alchemist to analyze and figure out where the biological tissue comes from.
Why would the intelligentsia use such unethical technology? Perhaps they're trying to create a new weapon?
Whatever the reason is, it's probably why the Borisin attacked the ship. No wonder the IPC were trying to obstruct our inspection. I'll contact the Ten Lords Commission and ask the judges to come and give their final verdict on this. According to our rules, all prisoners and weapons involving dangerous creatures must be taken to the Shackling prison for further sentencing. After all, it's the safest place on the Wafu. As for you, Mr. Craftsman, please go with the Cloud Knights and explain the situation to the judge. I had a feeling that the IPC members would cause trouble, but I didn't think they'd be this tricky. Thanks for your help, Miss Slingshot.
I should thank you for saving my life. Your sword skills were impressive. Taking down that big guy. I thought the General's retainers were all burly martial masters. I didn't expect Yanqing to be so... Yeah, exactly. He's young and talented. As for you, you must be the guests from the Astral Express, right? Saving the Lawful from that crisis. It's so impressive. It wasn't a big deal. Really. It's still early. So why don't we get some tea at the Alchemy Commission? We can discuss your suggestions for revitalizing the commission.
I'd be happy to accept your invitation.
And you three are coming too, right? You're back. Why didn't you say anything at the group chat? I'm on duty.
Sí.
Catch up later. Because of someone important. So stop asking and be serious. I'm on duty right now. Stop hanging around here and find something better to do. Once I'm done in a few days, call up Lil Boy and Wawa, and let's grab a meal at Aurum Alley. It's been ages since we hung out. Goodbye. Please do not hinder me carrying out my sacred duty. And we can discuss whatever you want after my shift.
I'm here to pay my respects.
Tanto duro, güey.
And the view at the Alchemy Commission hasn't changed a bit. The tides come and go, but the ancient sea remains the same. For us Vidyadhara, there's nothing more nostalgic than our homeland.
You're a Lofu native, Miss Lingsha?
Yes,
I grew up here, listening to the sound of waves while researching prescriptions with my mentors and peers at the Alchemy Commission. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Everything changes, but somehow remains familiar. Just like you, Dan Heng, I traveled far from home, and now I've returned. Seeing the familiar scenery brings back a hint of nostalgia.
The view here would be even better without the Ambrosia
Está
Harbor.
bien. Bye también, cuídate. Disfruta.
I think that towering tree looks pretty impressive.
Even if it's impressive, it's a plague mark. The Xianzhou have been fighting abominations for thousands of years. And now that the Ambrosial Arbor has been reborn, it's only natural for everyone to feel uneasy.
Well, once a seed is planted, no matter how long it takes, it'll eventually sprout and bear fruit. In my home, the rebirth of the Ambrosial Arbor and the resurgence of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were inevitable. The seed was already planted when the ancestors of the Xianzhou sought immortality. My bad. Well, since you went through the entire Ambrosial Arbor crisis firsthand, Dan Heng and Lieutenant Yanqing, I'd like to discuss something with you.
What would you like to discuss, Miss Linksha?
I was lucky enough to be chosen by the Alliance to come in and clean up all the old grime in the Alchemy Commission. Honestly, the Alchemy Commission is riddled with problems and has reached a point where fixing it seems impossible. I'm looking to remedy this problem, but was wondering if you could provide any insights.
Well, even though I'm a Vidyadharan like you, I'm an outsider, just like my companions here. I can't really say much about a remedy, but I do have a piece of advice, Miss Linksha. The Vidyadhara and the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu have always been intricately connected. If you cannot distance yourself from these ties, Miss Linksha, changing the situation within the Alchemy Commission may be quite challenging.
I may not know about politics, but I do know that the disciples of Sanctus Medicus have been operating within the Alchemy Commission for years. If you're determined to root them out, maybe you should discuss it with the General.
I see. Thank you for your valuable insights. While the Lux Arrow from the Rainbow possesses unparalleled power to sever the Ambrosial Arbor, it can't sever mortals' desire to prolong their existence. Just like how the Cloud Knights can eliminate the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but are unable to calm the hearts and minds of the people within the Alchemy Commission. Our Xianzhou forebears knew this well, and that's why they entrusted the duty of guarding the roots of the Arbor to the Vidyadhara. However, the Vidyadhara are still only mortal beings. 30 years ago, my mentor served as Alchemy Commission's Cauldron Master. She recognized the emerging undercurrents and sought to cleanse the source of the disturbance. Unfortunately, even though she was skilled in the art of healing, she didn't understand the human heart or how to eliminate the sickness lurking within the depths of the Alchemy Commission. In the end, she was framed and exiled to the Jumi. I was also implicated and had to leave the Luofu. And guess who arbitrated the case and handed down the sentence? None other than General Jing Yuan himself.
What?
You heard it right. The ones responsible for the corruption in the Alchemy Commission are not just the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but even the Divine Foresight himself. Alas, why is your face turning pale, Yanqing? Don't worry about it. I understand that when someone holds a position of power, they may sometimes have to make tough decisions. I won't hold any personal grudges against him. Besides, at our age, holding personal grudges is a luxury we can't afford.
Lingsha, you're back! I've been waiting ages for you. Yunli, why aren't you with your grandpa? What brings you to the Alchemy Commission?
Well, let me take this opportunity to introduce you to Yanqing.
What a small world. You stole my sword! Give it back!
I see. Let's skip the introduction part then.
Why do I keep bumping into you? Are you stalking me or something?
Of course not. Unlike you, Miss Yunli, I have important things to take care of. You, on the other hand, seem to have all the time in the world to wander around without returning my sword.
Grandpa used to say that a sword reflects its master. I talked to your sword, and it told me that you've been distracted. You hesitate when you should strike, and you struggle to stay calm when your sword is unsheathed. Now that I see you again, I realize your sword was right. It wasn't me who took your sword. It was you who lost focus.
Do you really expect me to believe that nonsense? I've been taking it easy on you because you're a guest from the Juming. But you're not taking the hint. Don't people from the Juming know you're supposed to return what you've borrowed?
Just look at this flying sword. Even if I gave it back to you now, it'd just be taken away again in a few hours. You know the Cloud Knights say, a Cloud Knight must never let slip their weapon, yes? Well, sure, I can give it back to you now, but on the battlefield, that's a whole different story.
Flying sword. Fine! You don't have to give it back, because I'll take it back myself!
Between these two, who do you think is tougher? Don't get me wrong, I'm just curious.
Get ready to separate them.
It is my first day at the Alchemy Commission. A brawl is definitely not how I imagined celebrating it.
Well, since you don't approve, I won't draw my sword here.
I didn't mean it in that way. Since you've already drawn your swords, you'd be disappointed if you didn't get to test one another, right? I've received reports that the delves near the Alchemy Commission are still infested with abominations. Seems like my predecessors left quite a mess. So, if you two want to determine who's better, why not focus on them instead?
Clearing out some abominations? Sounds boring.
It's the Cloud Knight's duty to eliminate those abominations. You don't have to ask me twice, Miss Lingsha. I'll help you get rid of them.
Oh, you think you're the only one who knows how to behave? If Lingsha needs anything, I'll gladly draw my sword and help her out.
It's so heartwarming to see both of you being so sweet and caring. So then, shall we get going? Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were eradicated, their experimental abominations have been festering here. If you want a contest, I'll be the referee. The one who kills the most abominations within an hour wins.
Lingsha, as always, you're still an expert in making unpaid work sound so noble and grand.
It's for your own good, little Yunli. While you desire to compete against each other, I don't want to see either of you getting hurt.
That's really thoughtful of you, Cauldron Master.
So, are you both ready? Ugh. Looks like my predecessors left quite a mess. Let me say it again. The one who kills the most abominations within an hour wins. Be careful when you draw your swords, and make sure you don't hurt each other. Can we start now, Link?
Strike with heart! Sunbow eternal.
Dreams do come true.
You could have surrendered.
A one-time end! I didn't expect someone who can't even hold on to a sword to actually have some see-through clouds! You've got style with those moves, but you're not striking where it counts. It's such a shame to see you misuse your sword like this. Do you admit this?
Let the show begin!
No amnesty for the Marstruck. By the order of the execute the Marstruck.
A one-time enemy!
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
It's time.
A one-time enemy!
Blade and flight. Some value, I suppose.
Dreams do come true. The mood is set. Let the show begin!
Strike with heart. Practice is over. Swords to You could have surrendered.
This is unity. Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
Take your positions.
Time for swordplay. Do you admit this crime? By the order of the Ten Lords. Execute the Marstruck! No amnesty for the Marstruck. How many can you block? Blade and flight!
There's more to life.
Let's improvise.
It's time. Time for swordplay.
Stay in step. The mood is set. Let the show begin! Dreams do come true.
I win, Miss Yun Li!
You got lucky.
Why don't you just give me back my sword, sincerely apologize, and then go cry your eyes out to your grandpa? Consider yourself lucky that I'm not interested in your rusty sword, because I don't have the nasty habit of snatching other people's weapons.
All you did was chop down a few monsters. Don't get carried away with yourself. If you think you can just take this sword from my hand, go ahead and try.
and friends. However, both of you have shortcomings. One of you focuses on dodging and weaving, while the other relies on brute strength, trying to take down targets with a single strike.
Who are you?
Me? I'm just a patient seeking medicine from the Alchemy Commission. A passerby, if you will. I thought I'd seen my fill of impressive fights during the war dance. Yet here I am, able to witness a remarkable fight at the Alchemy Commission, of all places. Well, the Lawfu is never short of surprises. However, I have a small suggestion for you. Why don't you settle this dispute fair and square in the war dance's ring? That way, you can resolve your differences with a proper duel and put your grudges behind you.
Grudges? No, not at all. Yunli and I, we were just sparring.
Sparring? You summoned your flying swords and she swung her sword with full strength. No grudges between you. I don't mind it.
Aha! What brings you here, Lady Fei Xiao? Have you finished your health consultation with the Dragon Lady? Fei Xiao? Grandpa always talks about you. Could it be that you're...
The Merlin's Claw of the Xianzhou Yaoqing?
Looks like I'm quite famous on the Xianzhou Lawfu, too.
Of course, everyone has heard of the great general. Known to all, and unbeknown to none.
Great general? Isn't that title a bit too narcissistic? I don't like it. Ooh, I heard there's a dozing general on the Lawfu, so I came up with a humble nickname for myself. The Laughing General. Lacking in worries, regrets, and rivals. Sounds much better, right?
Yeah, that's a befitting title that sounds both humble and impressive. Now that the sparring session is over, Yanqing and Yunli, shouldn't you politely thank General Fei Xiao for her guidance and bury the hatchet?
Here's your sword. Keep it safe. Or it might get taken away again. By the way, we haven't settled the score yet. I'll defeat you fair and square next time we fight.
This is how she apologizes? Now that I finally got my sword back, I should report to the seat of Divine Foresight. I'll take my leave, General Fei Xiao. Oh, by the way, Miss Linksha, if you've got some free time, I'd like to invite you to the seat of Divine Foresight for a chat with General Jing Yuan. I think there's more to those personal grudges you mentioned earlier.
Thanks for stepping in, General Fei Xiao. Otherwise, I'd have had to knock them out with my incense.
Not at all. Just doing what you asked. How about we call it even as payment for the healer lady's consultation?
Sorry, but even a general needs to pay their bills. We don't do that here. And let's not forget, you'd have been waiting decades for a chance to see the Dragon Lady if it weren't for me.
Well, you can always send the bill to the seat of Divine Foresight and say it's for mentoring those kids. After all, it was quite the effort splitting them up. I nearly had to get tough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to find a spot and get some fresh air. Back already? You've met with Jing Yuan and wandered around for a few hours. So, what do you think?
appears that the Divine Foresight is using this war dance as a show of strength to convince everyone that the Luofu is prospering after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis.
But... I know you're going to say but, right?
But the influx of people attending the war dance is like a breeding ground for disorder and rumors. One wrong move, and the Luofu could be in a world of chaos.
The Cloud Knights on the streets remain vigilant, so at the very least, General Jing Yuan is aware of this. As for other matters, I'm unable to say.
I'd prefer to be excused from future meetings with generals. I'm just a military healer. And now all of a sudden I'm thrust onto the center stage having cordial chats with two generals?
My work doesn't lend itself to being in the limelight either.
Just stop whining. At least you're in one piece, right? Before getting in touch with General Jing Yuan, I wanted to put aside my assumptions and see his momentum. That includes the overall bearing of the Cloud Knights on the street, what people are saying, and how those close to him behave.
The might of an army dwells not within its pawns, but within the force of its collective momentum. Recognizing this fact reveals the true...
A perfectly clear statement turned confusing thanks to your translation. You made me lose where I was now. Anyway, this is how I operate in battle, so you might as well get used to it.
Are you treating General Jing Yuan as your enemy?
The longest-serving general of the Xianzhou Luofu. Do you think he'd have only a few enemies?
By the way, General, you met the healer lady, yes? Could you show me the medicine she prescribed you?
Well, the healer lady couldn't do anything about my condition. She just told me to enjoy some tasty food.
So not even the famed healer lady could help? Don't worry. I'll fulfill my promise and find a way to cure you. Actually, I've found some leads.
Well, life and death, Jiao Qiu. It's all predetermined. Upon starting my military career, I made a pledge that the rest of my life would be dedicated to being the Xianzhou spearhead, hunting down the abominations of abundance till the end of my days. As long as I can fulfill that deep-seated desire, I don't care how long I live. You asked if I view General Jing Yuan as my enemy. No. My real enemy has always been myself.
Enjoy some tasty food. So, what's for dinner tonight?
Jeez. You really know how to read the room, don't you?
You guys figure it out for yourselves. I'm due to catch up with an old war friend who I've not seen for quite a long time.
Mine too.
Yeah. But to go up against Yun Li is quite impressive, you know? That aura of heroism and grace. It almost makes me want to learn Xianzhou swordplay. You think so too, right? Can't you put a little more enthusiasm into it?
Thanks for the kind words, Miss March. The war dance is coming up, and I've been chosen to represent the Cloud Knights in the ceremony. I've had my fair share of defeats lately, and even though I know there are always more skilled sword masters out there, seeing General Fei Xiao's skills today has made me feel a bit uneasy again.
Don't underestimate yourself. After all, generals won't fight in the ring during the war dance. Just remember the state of mind you had when you single-handedly took on me and Blade, putting life and death aside. With that mindset, you can prevail against most challengers.
I see. Thanks for the advice, Master Dan Heng. By the way, now that today's events are over, General Jing Yuan wants to invite all of you to the Seat of Divine Foresight. He has something important to discuss.
I bet it's about how to deal with the generals from the Yaoqing and the Zhuming.
Really don't want to get caught up in grown-up games so soon. I just hope Generals Fei Xiao and Huaiyan can see the truth. We don't need any more chaos in the Luofu before the war dance.
Earlier at the Palace of Astral, I introduced these guests from the Astral Express to you, Elder Huaiyan. But with all the people around, we only exchanged pleasantries. Now, I'd like to officially introduce them to you. These three braved great dangers, accompanying me to perilous places, defeating the chief culprit Van Tilia, and uncovering the conspiracies of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus. If you wish to know more, please, feel free to ask us.
Well, I skimmed through the reports about the Arbor's rebirth from the Master Diviner Fu Xuan. She's been summoned to the Yu Chui for questioning. There are a lot of doubts within the Alliance about this whole situation. But despite all that, I believe in you. Since you joined the ranks, you have repeatedly achieved remarkable feats. After the High Cloud Quintet each went their separate ways, despite the many criticisms within the Alliance, Marshall still stood firm against the dissenting voices and entrusted the Luofu to you. Over the years, you've served the Alliance with loyalty and wisdom. You've taken down abominations in Thalassa, rescued the Xianzhou Yu Chui from a siege, and destroyed the demonic planet summoned by the denizens of abundance. I still remember those battles vividly. There are fools who doubt your loyalty. They're happy to see the divine foresight fail because it gives them some kind of sick satisfaction. They haven't achieved anything of their own, so they feed off the failures of others. But I've seen enough failures in my time, and I want to believe that your loyalty has never wavered.
So, General Fei Xiao of the Yaoqing is the only one investigating the Ambrosial Arbor crisis on behalf of the Alliance?
No. I am too.
This old man's words always catch me off guard.
The Marshal ordered me to come to the Xianzhou Luofu. But the document only says, attend the war dance and listen to Fei Xiao's questioning. The Marshal is well aware of Jing Yuan's purpose in holding the ceremony and understands the situation he is facing. She mentioned it because she believes both issues are important.
Thanks for your kindness and sincerity, Huaiyan. But is it appropriate to tell everyone here about the Marshal's orders?
By introducing the Express's witnesses to me alone, our Aren't you aiming to discern the intentions behind both my actions and Fei Xiao's? Whether there's any discord between us? Well, since I'm being open and honest with you, I encourage you young folk to do the same. As for the ambrosial armor princes, all I need to do is listen. General Fei Xiao will be the one asking the questions. To be honest, I'm more concerned about the time we start the war dance. Oh, by the way, I've prepared a gift for the war dance. Yes, it's this case right here. There will be numerous contests and celebrations during the war dance, and the main event will be the Ringmaster's Challenge. The host will dispatch a skilled warrior to take on challengers from all over the cosmos, showcasing the excellent martial arts of the Xianzhou Lawfu. When you mentioned that the Astral Express would be attending the ceremony, I thought the High Elder of the Lawfu would be the Ringmaster.
You humor me, Elder Huayan. The healer lady is just a young lady who knows nothing about martial arts. How can I assign her as the ringmaster?
I'm no match to you when it comes to joking.
What's this box for? Why don't you open it, General Huayan?
This sword case is intended for the war dancer's award. It's empty now, but in a few days, a precious sword will be delivered and stored inside. I don't mean to boast about our skills, but this sword represents the pinnacle of the Zhuming's craftsmanship. It has a legendary history, full of heroic tales from foreign lands. Tales that are too detailed to be summarized in just a few words. Since the delegation delivering the sword hasn't arrived yet, I'll just leave the case here for now. I've been wondering who would be worthy of such a sword. And then it hit me. I can award it to the champion of the Ringmaster's Challenge. The ceremony's champion is sure to be a perfect match for the sword. Moreover, I hear that Yanqing is an excellent swordmaster, and that he will be representing the Lawfu as the Ringmaster. So it seems like a perfect gift for him.
Thank you for your generosity, Elder Huayan.
If you want to give me a sword, just say the word, Grandpa. No need to beat around the bush.
You've got confidence, my girl, but I don't think you can best Yanqing.
I know you're all about swords, Miss Yunli. It's just a shame that it's the sword that ultimately chooses its rightful master.
Yeah, and even if someone gets their hands on such a precious sword, it'll probably end up in someone else's.
The outcome of our duel at the Alchemy Commission is still up in the air. Since you're interested, why don't you represent the Xianzhou Juming and challenge me in the ring?
That's exactly what I had in mind. Nobody knows who's gonna come out on top. It could be me, could be someone else. It'll probably be me. But whatever happens, it won't be him.
Not to be rude or anything, we've been watching their drama. I'm dying to find out who beats who.
Quiet down. We have other guests here. I've prepared this sword to add some excitement to the ceremony, not to have you two squabble. It's not a good look for the Alliance. While you both seem confident that you'll win, you need to remember there can only be one winner and one loser in the ring, which could lead to hard feelings. Actually, I have an idea. We don't know who the winner will be, and it might not be either of you. But if you're eyeing that prize, you'll need to work together. I want you to take on an apprentice who will take part in the war dance and win at least one match.
How does that make sense?
In my humble opinion, while a Cloud Knight is commendable by securing victories, it's even more so to pass on your skills and spread the way of swordplay. I'd be greatly pleased if this apprentice could represent the Express in the war dance by displaying their Cloud Knight flair and prowess.
Well, Elder Huayan's idea is quite interesting. Imparting swordplay skills requires teamwork, and both the winner and the loser will learn a valuable lesson regardless of the outcome. The question is, whom should the two of them take as an apprentice?
Huh? Who? Wait, me?
I noticed just now that Miss March seemed quite interested in the outcome of your sword fight. So I thought, why not teach her the art of swordplay?
Wait, are you serious, General? Why am I being dragged into this all of a sudden? I've never practiced swordplay before. I'm a total newbie. You really think I can learn it? Well, you'll probably realize I have no hope and give up on me. And that'd be so embarrassing.
Your talent is quite unique. Are you also interested in swordplay? But you know, based on my years of judging people, you don't really need to dive into swordplay to boost your skills. And I doubt there's anyone out there who can really show you the way forward. As for Miss March, she's like a piece of jade in the rough, just waiting to be shaped.
I appreciate your kind words, General Huayan. But won't teaching me swordplay be a waste of Yanqing and Yunli's time? They should be preparing for the ceremony. Plus, I heard that each swordmaster has their own special moves. What if they let something slip while teaching me? If everyone knows each other's tactics, won't that make it hard to catch people off guard during the war dance?
That's considerate of you, March 7th. But don't worry. It'll take you at least a decade of hard training before you can even start learning special moves. No need to freak out. A few Juming swordplay tricks will mean you'll be more than equipped.
Really?
Looks like March's curiosity has been piqued.
The whole point is to know each other's moves. Defeating your opponent in just one move? How boring would that be? Plus, what really decides a swordsman's fate isn't some special move. It's the solid fundamentals.
So Miss Yunli has already agreed. What do you say, Yanqing?
General, I haven't graduated yet. How can I be qualified to teach swordplay to others?
So you're admitting your defeat, huh? If you're not even confident to teach, why don't you let me be the ringmaster instead?
Yanqing, teaching an apprentice is also a way of honing your own skills and gaining insights. You've been an apprentice for years. It's about time you looked at swordplay from another perspective.
I see, General. Then count me in.
Now that Yanqing has agreed too, it all comes down to Miss March giving her nod.
It's up to you to make the final decision, March.
At least that way, I won't have to worry about you accidentally shooting me in the butt all the time.
Hey, I've never missed my target. Then I'm on board. Thank you for your kindness, General Huayan.
Great! Starting tomorrow, Yanqing and Yunli will teach you the basics of the Cloud Knight's swordplay. Yunli and I will head out and purchase some sword practice equipment for Miss March. Think of it as a little initiation gift.
You're too kind. Wait, you're giving me a gift? Shouldn't it be the other way around? General Huaiyan's gone. Wait, why does something feel off about what we talked about? I think we strayed off topic. How did things even get to this point?
Yeah, I brought you here because the General said he had some important matters to discuss. But how in the world did Yun Li and I suddenly become Miss March's swordplay mentors?
Because General Huaiyan wants us to stick around on the Luofu for some time. But from his point of view, we're no different from all the other tourists who may leave at any time. Since the crew's actions were mentioned in the Luofu's operations log were given to the Alliance, he probably wants to see firsthand if we're as capable as the report claims, or if we're just some made-up excuse to save face. And he wants to see it for himself during the war dance, which is why he even dragged Yun Li into this. What began as a simple contest between two swordmasters has now evolved into you two collaborating to mentor March.
Elder Huaiyan is still that tricky general who likes to give everyone a headache. My apologies. Truth be told, I invited all of you to the ceremony because I wished for you to act as my witnesses. I apologize for not disclosing this information earlier. In the coming weeks, I'll also invite all of you to a meeting with General Fei Xiao, where you may need to answer her questions and clear up any doubts she might have. So please, be prepared for the meeting.
Don't worry, General. No matter what happens, I'm prepared to stay here as the Express's witness and answer any questions.
Thank you, everyone.
General, I know there isn't much I can do to share your burden, but... As the Luofu Ringmaster, I won't let anyone defeat me in the war dance.
I know.
The illustrious Merlin's Claw waiting for me? And for so long, too? It's quite an honor. It's been a while, General Fei Xiao.
It's been 30 years since we last saw each other. Right, Yukong?
Yes. Back then, you were the vanguard of the Yaoqing's Verdant Knights, and I was a pilot of the Luofu's Rainbow Orbit fleet. Who would have thought that upon meeting again, you'd be a general, and I'd have given up flying? Really does feel like a lifetime ago. Well, I wouldn't say I haven't seen you in 30 years. After all, your great victories are announced through the Yellow Bell resonance system every day. So I'm well aware of your great feats. How's your health holding up?
Still stable, I suppose. Do you still remember the medic who saved me in battle?
That healer with the odd name and peculiar temperament. What was his name again? Was it Pichu? Or Kaqiu?
Jiao Chou. He's been my retainer and personal healer, delegated by the Alchemy Commission from the Xianzhou Yaoqing. Over the years, he's dedicated himself to managing my condition. It's thanks to him that I'm still in good health today. Given my background, I'm happy to have made it this far.
I'm relieved to know that you're safe and sound. Well then, since you and Elder Huaiyan are here, I imagine you must have received orders from the Marshal?
As your friend, may I ask how the Alliance intends to punish the General of the Lawfu? The Arbor's rebirth has frightened the Elders who lurk behind the scenes. They fear the resurgence of abominations, much like what happened 30 years ago. Although the report from the Lawfu explained all the details, we don't know if the Ruin Legion really invaded, or how exactly the Stellaron Hunters and the Astral Express became involved. This puzzle has many missing pieces. As you know, the fugitive Jing Liu, who mysteriously disappeared many years ago, has resurfaced. This time, she has brought along an Outworlder and a coffin, claiming to offer the Marshal a method to fight against the Eons. The Lawfu Preceptor has also leveled accusations against Jing Yuan for neglecting the Alliance's principles. She asserts that Jing Yuan enabled the exiled Imbibitor Lunae to re-enter the Lawfu, thereby unlocking the lunarescent depths within Scale Gorge Waterscape, which in turn disrupted the Vidyadhara's dutiful watch over the Ambrosial Arbor. It is for these reasons that I have come here to the Lawfu today. Well, duty calls. Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned all of this to an uninvolved person, but since we once fought together, I didn't want to keep you in the dark. Perhaps pretending you didn't hear any of this would be for the best. I understand. I'm sorry. I was out of line. I know I shouldn't be defending General Jing Yuan right now, but... well, you know how I am. The Lawfu has enjoyed centuries of stability since the end of the sedition of Imbibitor Lunae, much of which can be attributed to General Jing Yuan's masterful strategizing. Unfortunately, for long-life species, enduring through the ages always culminates in a failure that undoes all previous achievements. A moment that our adversaries relish. That's true. And that's why I'm also here for another purpose. To visit Hulei. Hulei? You mean that Hulei? The Borisin warhead? The same Hulei who has been imprisoned in the Shackling prison for over 7 centuries? The nemesis of the Foxians who will never be forgiven and shall be imprisoned until the end of the cosmos. I can't quite remember the exact wording, but yes, the very same Hulei. Usually, only emissaries from the Xianzhou Yaoqing Skyfaring Commission visit him once every century. Why do you have to visit him now, of all times? The Foxians and the Alliance made a pact to combat the abominations, aiming to achieve justice and free their kin. That werewolf monster is to be forever imprisoned in the dark recesses of the Shackling prison, facing unending retribution. Given the situation on the Lawfu, those on the Yaoqing are concerned about Hulei's imprisonment. I'm afraid that the routine visit every century is no longer sufficient to ease their concerns. That's why I was sent here, to reassure them. It's all bad news. Well, not everything. There might be a silver lining. Oh, by the way, I found some clues about the thing you asked for. Tell me more. The Verdant Knights followed the route you mentioned and discovered the wreckage of the Whistling Flame ship. Unfortunately, there were no survivors and no cargo. However, someone had already been on the scene before we arrived. Our people? Or someone from the IPC? No, neither. Yukong, have you heard of a person named Ron May?
I'm still feeling sleepy.
Did I oversleep? Where did March and Donhum go?
There you are.
Well, it was a promise to General Huayan, after all. I woke up especially early, so I can start teaching Miss March swordplay.
Hey, why are you blushing, Master Yanqing?
This is, the first time someone has called me Master. I need to, get used to it. Let me make it clear. Swordplay training is about improving your body, mind, and strength. It's not a casual game you can master overnight. I promised General Huayan that I'd teach you Cloud Knight swordplay, so you can participate in the war dance and defeat at least one opponent. I'll do my best, but if you break your master's rules...
Fine. A promise is a promise. Since I promised to study hard, I'll do my best starting today.
Great! That's the spirit.
March is in your hands now, Yanqing. Don't be too easy on her.
Donhung, do you even have a heart? Did you lose it somewhere? By the way, where's Yunli?
I've found a quiet spot in the back garden of the Palace of Astrum for our first lesson together.
Seriously? It's the first day, and you two are already late? Why is everyone on the Luofu so laid back? So disappointing.
Master Yunli, you're already here. Sorry for keeping you waiting.
Oh, wait. Were you trying to teach her in secret? That's sneaky.
I'm just showing you what Luofu etiquette is all about. She might be my apprentice, but it's customary for the master to personally escort their apprentice to the place of learning. As the host, I'll be teaching Miss March the essence of Luofu's swordplay, after which she'll emerge victorious in the war dance ring. You won't be complaining about Luofu's swordplay then.
Stand aside, rookie. Let me show you how we Zhuming swordmasters treat their apprentices. Quickly, over here, Miss March. This is a reverse mentorship gift from me to you. I hope you put it to good use.
What's this? Xianzhou clothing? It's so beautiful!
Sword practice requires precise movements. This outfit is tailored to fit perfectly and allows for smooth movements. I even added some small accessories. I put a lot of thought into it.
You're awesome, Master Yunli!
See? See? How can you compete with me? I'll teach March 7th the essence of Zhuming swordplay so she can win the contest with my sword skills.
Actually, I've prepared something too.
Huh? You have a gift for me too, Master Yanqing?
Since you want to learn swordplay, Miss March, you'll need suitable weapons. So, I went out of my way to prepare a pair of swords overnight. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to ask the craftsman to customize the swords for you. But I did my best to choose ones that look nice and are suitable for a beginner. I hope you like them, Miss March.
Thank you, Master Yanqing!
Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you, Yunli?
The real competition is just getting started.
I'm so lucky to have two great masters. But why does it feel like things are getting a bit weird? What do you think, Masters? Does this outfit suit me?
Perfect. I chose it carefully. It's perfect for beautiful young swordswomen like you and me.
Ahem. All right, let's get started with the training. The person next to me is a Cloud Knight instructor I've brought in. For your first lesson, try exchanging a couple of moves with him.
Wait. We're having actual combat training for the first lesson? Isn't that a bit too intense?
Well, I heard you have some experience with archery and martial arts. The first thing we're going to do is see just how strong your fundamentals are. Come on, step forward and strike with the sword in the most natural way you can think of. It's important for us to grasp your natural movements so we can decide where to start and what you need to learn.
If you're ready, let's begin.
Okay. Peach blossoms and divine sword descend.
The plague sword